So we're moving in 3 weeks. 3 weeks. It really takes like a deadline to kick your butt in gear, right? I just can't even fathom, but somehow, some way it's gonna happen. We're really down to crunch time now. And yeah, I recorded the video that you're about to see 2 weeks ago. So you'll get to see the original video I shot and then some little updates here and there. 3 weeks. 3 weeks. What's up, fam? Welcome back to Firewalking Journey, the YouTube channel where I share about my life as a location independent entrepreneur and investor. So in today's video, I am going to talk about what we're doing to prepare for our launch. If you don't know already, we are going to be moving out of our home and we're going to travel around North America for about 7 or 8 months, and then we'll be moving to Taipei, Taiwan in the fall of 2022. So basically, this is all the stuff that you would need to think about if you were going to expat, nomad, or take a gap year. Basically the things that you need to prepare for. And I'm not talking about trip planning like housing, transportation. This is all just more or less the stuff at home that you need to take care of, all the loose ends before you leave. This is sort of where we are in the process, and so this is by no means a sort of best practices type of video. Maybe in a year or two down the line I'll come back and share what worked best and if there are any things that I would do differently, but right now I'm just gonna cover the things that I'm thinking about. So I've been basically thinking in terms of 5 major categories. Stuff, like our junk, insurance, telecommunications, money, and then miscellaneous. And so I'll go over these 5 categories and everything in them. And if there's something I'm missing, please comment and let me know. Stuff. It's our house, our vehicles, and then our household belongings. We've been slowly sort of packing up stuff, slowly throwing things away. So at some point, you know, we're just gonna have to just tackle everything. But at least we're taking tiny steps right now. We have been listing our house for rent, and we've gotten a handful of showings. We had 1 application, but that one, the timing didn't work out. We're trying to do this thing ourselves. My wife really thinks that she can rent it out without hiring a property manager. So now we're looking at adjusting the price. We're starting to become a little bit more flexible on the timing. So if people need to move in sooner, we'll accommodate them. So right after I recorded that, we got a tenant. It's awesome. This family, they loved the place. They really wanted it. And they put down deposit, first month's rent, signed the lease, applied to our HOA, and the best part is that the timing is perfect for us because they're gonna move in right after we move out. So if you're heading out, you've obviously got to figure out what you want to do with your home. If you're a renter, that'll be the cleanest break. If you're an owner, you either consider renting your place out if you're comfortable with that, or you can sell your place. And that's something we considered briefly because the market is so hot. But our long-term plan had always been to keep our home. It was an investment when we bought it, and you know, the fact that the market is hot right now doesn't really change that. So yeah, we're gonna ride it out, and there's always the potential that we'll come back to it down the line. But yeah, those are the main options. And then the third thing I mentioned, the vehicle. So if you don't know, if you haven't seen my Nissan Leaf videos, I like to say we're a half a car household. We have a Nissan Leaf that is really old and its range is extremely limited, so I consider it half a car. I asked my parents if they'd want it, but they really don't have much use for it. So we may give it to my in-laws. I know that they do like driving around with it whenever we are out of town. So we'll either give it to them if they do want it and they do think it's worthwhile. Otherwise, we will just sort of decommission it. I don't know if that's the right term, but just park it. We do have a place that we can leave it long term, and maybe 5 years from now when we come back to America, we might go back and get that car, put a new battery in it. There's also, of course, the option of donating it. So we'll see. I don't think selling it is really an option. I don't think we'd be able to get anything for it. Well, that's funny because my wife had the idea to check Carvana. And sure enough, Carvana is willing to buy our car from us. And they were offering over $4,000. So that was sick. And the only issue is that they put like a 1 week deadline on that. So we figured we'll wait till the end of January, which is when we actually do want to sell our car. When we come back to visit Miami for a brief period. And we'll try to see if we can generate a great offer at that point in time. Maybe there'd be issues with it, but if we can get anything over $2,000, I would say that's fantastic. But in the past week, then we discovered that my wife's uncle actually does want the car, and so we decided we'll just give it to him, and if his family can make use of it, then great. That is what we're doing with our stuff. We're very lucky that we have, my parents live in Florida. They have a very large house. My in-laws live down the street and they have plenty of storage space. We don't need to worry about getting a storage unit to put things in. We're very fortunate in that sense. So really, it's just a matter of getting the stuff out of our house, either into the trash, into other people, or to our storage areas. So we still haven't really cleared out the house that much. I mean, we're just still chipping away at it slowly. But we had somebody visiting, a friend, for just a couple days during Art Basel, and she didn't know that we were planning to move away permanently. So she, after the first day of her staying with us, she commented that our house is pretty empty and we don't have a lot of stuff. That was actually a really nice thing to hear. So I think we are slowly on our way. So regardless of what your specific plans are with your stuff, I feel like anybody looking to enter sort of the nomad lifestyle or the temporary expat lifestyle, you're gonna trend towards minimalism. Maybe not all the way super extreme, but in that direction. And for my wife and I, we're both very excited to put this into practice. Again, maybe not full-on minimalism, but more of an intentional lack of accumulation of things. That's really something that we both want to strive towards, and I feel like our nomad and expat lifestyle is really going to help us to do that. So I'm actually going to break this video up into multiple parts. So that's it for the stuff. Check out part 2 where I'll talk about insurance.